Hey guys, Robert Romero here. Hey look, today we're going to talk about macros and how to count your calories. Now if you're looking to lose weight, to even maintain your weight or gain weight, it's important to understand how to calculate these. What I'm going to show you today is basically going to be how to determine your maintenance calories, meaning how many calories do you need in order to maintain your current body composition. That's a starting point. But in addition to that, I'm going to show you how you can effectively lose weight by measuring or reducing your macros and calorie count. So guys, this is an easy method and everyone can do it, and I highly recommend that you all do. If you're involved in a fitness program or you have a goal that you're trying to hit, this can be extremely effective for helping you to get to that point. So let's get started, guys. So the first thing I want to talk about is macros. Now, for beginners, this is a very simple way for determining your calories as well as grams for each that you need. So in today's video, I'm going to show you, number one, how to determine your maintenance calories. Now, your maintenance calories are basically what you need in order to maintain your current body composition. That is a starting point. Next, I'm going to show you how to find your protein and fats. How much do you need? Lastly, I'm going to show you is how to find your carbs. So let's get started, guys. So number one, how to determine your maintenance. So the first thing you want to do is look at your body weight. Now for this example, I'm going to use 170 pounds. It's nobody's body weight, but that's what I'll use as an example. So what you would do is use your body weight as this example when calculating your macros. So basically, there's a formula. So the formula is you take your body weight and you times it by a range of either 14 to 16. So now what the range is for is basically you would utilize a 14 if you're less active, a 15 if you're considered active, and a 16 if you're extremely active. So that is your range, 14 to 16. So for me, and what I highly recommend for you as well, is to use 15, right in the middle, active. That seems to work the best. And that is for a person who actually is working, who's moving, who's getting some exercise, and is considered active. So 15 is the number that we're going to use. I would highly not recommend using 16. 16, even though it's extremely active, you may work out 5 days a week or something like that, but 16 is really on the higher side, and it's for somebody who's just basically moving nonstop. So anyways, guys, for this exercise, we're going to use 170 pounds in weight and a factor of 15. So basically, in order to determine your maintenance calories, you would, number one, you would take your weight, 170, times 15. So as you can see, that equals 2,550 calories. That is your maintenance, 2,550 calories. So if you eat 2,550 calories on a daily basis, you're going to maintain your body. If you have your body exactly the way you want it, and you just want to maintain it, that is the calorie goal that you would have, 2,550. So now the next step is, now that you know what your maintenance calories are, let's determine a goal. You need to determine a goal. So basically, for this scenario here, I'm going to assume that we're trying to reduce weight in this example. So what I have here is a scale. And as you can see, you've got on the furthest to the left, you have cutting or reducing your weight. In the middle, you have maintaining your weight, which we know the maintenance calories of 2,550. And also you have a lean bulk at the furthest to the right of the scale. So basically, if you want to lose weight and you want to cut calories, you would take your maintenance calories which in this case we determined is 2,550, minus, now there's a range that you can minus when it comes to reducing calories between 300 and 500. For this example, I'm going to use 500. So minus 500 equals 2,050 calories. This is your calories for the day if you want to be at a deficit and if you want to lose weight. So your maintenance 2,550 and your caloric deficit target is 2,050. Now guys, if cutting calories is something that you want to do and something that you're trying to do, my recommendation is to first start off maybe decreasing your calories by about 300 first, just to get your body acclimated to the adjustment, and then going to the higher amount of 500. But I would go no more than 500. That's just too much beyond that, in my opinion. So 2,050 calories would be your maintenance, would be your deficit target. So the next step is, how do you find your protein? Now we'll look at macros. How do you find your protein and your fats? This is how you do it. So for protein, you take your body weight, remember 170 pounds, and you times it by either 0.75, between the range of 0.75 and 1.25. Now, the reason why there's a range is 0.75 would be ideal for somebody who has excess body fat and not much muscle, and they're new to exercising or training. You would use 0.75. Now, for somebody who's relatively in shape and maybe is 20% or less in body fat, then you can see a little bit of your abs, then you would use 1 as a factor. And now if you're just shredded and your body fat percentage is 10% or lower and you're training a lot, then you would use a factor of 1.25 for your protein. So basically, in this example, we're going to stay in the middle, in shape, 20% or less body fat, which is where most people typically may be. And you can see a little bit of your abs. So basically, your protein in grams is going to be 170 pounds times 1 equals 170 grams of protein. So that is the amount of protein that you're going to need on a daily basis, is 170 grams. Now we will determine your body fat. So body fat basically is on a scale as well. And what we have is 0.3 to 0.4. And the reason for the range is you would want to utilize 0.3 if you absolutely love carbs. If you absolutely love carbs, then you would use 0.3. If you can give or take or don't really care too much, then you would use 0.35. And if you love fats, such as avocados and things of that nature, and you just really love fats, peanut butter, everybody does, then you would use 0.4. Now for this exercise, I'm going to use 0.3 because carbs, I think, are probably the most rewarding and the most filling, and I think that's what people mostly miss when they're cutting or on a diet. So we'll go 170 in body weight times 0.3 equals 51 grams of fat. So these are your macros. So we had protein at 170 grams of protein, and now we have our fat at 51 grams of fat. That's what we have thus far. So now we're going to find, the next step will be to find our carbohydrates. Now I've listed a simple table here. P for protein equals 4 calories per gram. F for fats equals 9 calories per gram. And C for carbohydrates equals 4 calories per gram. Now this is a table on what we're going to use later to calculate our calories. So basically, protein is at 170 grams that we determined times 4. That equals 680 calories. So 680 calories out of your diet will be on protein, and that's going to be 170 grams. So fat at 51 grams, as we determined earlier, times 9 equals 459 calories. So now that gives us a subtotal of 1,139 calories. So now we're going to figure out our carbohydrates. So remember, our cutting calories are 2,050. That's our goal. That's what we want to hit because we want to reduce weight and we want to cut. So minus 1,139, which equates to protein and fats, equals 911 calories. That's left over for carbs. So basically 911 calories are what we're going to leave for carbs. And if we divide that by 4, we're going to get 228 grams. So basically, guys, when you want to look at what are my macros, based on the exercise that we just did, you're going to have 170 grams of protein, you're going to have 51 grams of fat, and you're going to have 228 grams of carbohydrates. Those are your macros. Now what that relates to in calories is protein is going to be 680 calories, fat 459 calories, and carbs 911 calories. That's a quick and easy way for determining your calorie count as well as your macros. There's a lot of different ways on how you can calculate it. This is the most simplistic way of doing it, and this will help you to stay on track to hit your goals. Also, I would highly recommend maybe you use an app such as MyFitnessPal. MyFitnessPal is going to help you to log what you eat, and it's going to give you your grams as well as your calories on a daily basis of what you've consumed. That way you always know what you have left and what you can eat. That way you don't overeat, you're not guessing, it's all very on track. So that's what I use, guys, and I highly recommend it. It's a free download, MyFitnessPal. Download it. It's easy to log your stuff, and it's easy to stay on track, and therefore and you'll see results. So if you have a goal, download it, log your weight, and that will really help you. That's a great tool for meeting your goals. So anyways, guys, I hope this helped you. It's a very simplistic way of counting your calories as well as your macros. I'm going to list this table in the body of the video, and that way you can screenshot it for future reference, or if you don't remember the mathematical calculations. And that way you can apply that on your diet strategies. And hopefully you like this video. Hopefully you learned something from it. And guys, if you learned anything, if you like it, please hit the thumbs up button and like the video. And also, if you haven't already subscribed, guys, please subscribe. And I have a lot more helpful stuff coming along. And so everybody, keep smiling, and I will see you on the next video.